Hi everyone. I thought I would read my favorite fairy tale to you today. I have a lot of favorite fairy tales. This is one of my favorites. It's Jack and the Beanstalk. And I'm reading it on my iPad since the library's closed. All right, Jack and the Beanstalk. Here we go. Once upon a time, there lived a poor widow and her only son, Jack. One day, Jack's mother told him tearfully, "We have become so poor that I do not have enough money to buy even a piece of bread." With her head in her hands, she cried and cried, then told Jack, "We have no choice. You must take our only cow to market and sell it." So Jack set off for the market. On his way to the nearby town, Jack saw a man on a road. "That is a fine beast you have there," he told Jack, looking at the cow, which was well fed with a gleaming coat. "The cow is for sale if you would like to buy it," Jack told the man. "How much will you give me?" The man answered, "I will give you 5 magic beans." "I agree," said Jack, and he held his hands out to the man and he got his 5 magic beans, and in return he gave the man his cow. Jack was very pleased with his sale. "I wonder what will grow from these magic beans," he pondered as he ran back home. But when he reached his cottage and told his mother about the exchange of the cow for the beans, she was furious. "You fool!" she shrieked. "You have sold our only cow for a handful of magic beans? Surely this is not a good deal, Jack." And his mother took the beans and threw them out the window. "Go upstairs," she said. "We have no cow and we have no food, so there will be no supper tonight." Jack climbed up the stairs to his bedroom and went to bed, but he was still hopeful that the magic beans would bring him luck. The next day, Jack woke up and looked out his bedroom window. Rubbing his eyes, he thought he must be dreaming, for there beneath the window grew a huge beanstalk. The beanstalk wound up and up and up into a magical kingdom in the sky. Jack gasped, "The magic beans!" Jack's mother could scarcely believe her eyes too when she looked out of her cottage and saw the enormous beanstalk and the kingdom at the top. "I wonder who lives there," she said to Jack. "Well, I will find out," Jack replied, and without another word, he began to climb the beanstalk into the sky. When Jack reached the top of the beanstalk, he discovered a wonderful castle. Curious, he decided to venture inside. That's a science experiment. Jack crept inside the castle. Then he tiptoed into the kitchen, where he found a kind-looking woman. Jack asked her, "Could you please give me something to eat? I am so hungry." And with a smile, the woman gave him some bread and milk. While Jack was eating, a giant suddenly appeared at the door. He was very fearsome. Jack was terrified and quickly hid beneath the table in the kitchen. The giant sniffed the air and cried, "Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones until I bake my bread." "Don't be such a fool," said the woman, who was the giant's wife. "There is no one here." So the giant just ate his breakfast and went to the room which he kept all his money. That's my dog Winston. So the giant just ate his breakfast and went to the room in which he kept his money. He took out sacks of gold coins and rubbed his hands with glee. The giant did so love his beautiful gold coins. 1, 2, 3, 4. He counted, then put the coins back into the sacks. He spent the whole day counting. Then, exhausted, he fell asleep. In the night, Jack crept out of his hiding place. He tiptoed into the giant's room, and seeing that he was snoring and deeply asleep, Jack lifted up one of the sacks of gold. Hoisting the sack over his back, Jack crept out of the castle and carefully climbed down the beanstalk. He ran into the cottage and woke his mother. "Look," he laughed, showing his mother the glittering gold. "We can now buy food," he told her, "enough to last for years." Jack's mother was so happy that she hugged her son and laughed with joy. The sack of gold coins did indeed buy Jack and his mother plenty of food, and they lived well for quite some time. One day, Jack gazed up at the beanstalk again. Unable to resist the riches that might be left in the giant's castle, he decided to venture into the magical kingdom once more. Jack climbed the beanstalk. The giant's wife was cooking and gave Jack some food. As before, the giant returned to the castle while Jack was eating. Jack leaped up in fright and ran into the giant's bedroom to hide under the bed. Sniffing the air, the giant cried, "Fee, fi, fo, fum, I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread." Once more, the giant's wife laughed at him. "There is no one in here." So the giant just ate his food and went to one of his rooms. There he took out a hen. He shouted, "Lay!" and the hen laid a golden egg. Pleased with his magic hen, the giant contentedly fell asleep. While the giant was sleeping, Jack crept into the room and gathered up the hen. Then he raced from the castle and climbed back down the beanstalk. Jack's mother was delighted when she saw the hen lay a golden egg. "We will be rich forever," she laughed. The hen did indeed make Jack and his mother rich. People came from far and wide to see the magical hen and to buy its wondrous golden eggs. However, Jack was not satisfied with his wealth and wondered once more what the other riches that lie in the giant's castle at the top of the beanstalk. After some time, Jack decided to climb the beanstalk once more. He entered the castle, and for the third time, he met the giant's wife. Once again, the giant's wife was cooking and gave Jack some delicious food. And once more, while Jack was eating, the giant came home. And you know what he said. "Fee, fi, fo, fum," cried the giant. "I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to bake my bread." "Don't be silly. There is no one in here," said the wife once more. The giant went into his music room where he kept a magical harp that could play beautiful songs. The giant listened to the wonderful harp and its pretty music and fell fast asleep. Listening to the beautiful sounds of the harp, Jack was determined to take his last prize from the giant. He waited until he was sure that the giant was soundly asleep. Then, while he snored, Jack seized the harp. Jack raced toward the castle door, but then suddenly the harp cried out, "Help! Master! A boy is stealing me!" At once the giant woke up and saw Jack with the harp. "Fee, fi, fo, fum," cried the giant. "Now I see an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind my bones to bake my bread." Furious, the giant ran after Jack. He chased him through the castle and into the gardens and toward the beanstalk, but Jack was too fast for the giant with the harp in his, he was too fast for the giant. He had the harp in his sack, and he leaped onto the beanstalk and quickly climbed down towards the ground. Roaring with rage, the giant followed Jack down the beanstalk. The ground thundered and shook as the giant clambered down the stalk, huffing and puffing as he went. Hearing the terrible noise outside, Jack's mother ran out of the cottage. Then she saw her son climbing down the beanstalk, and the most monstrous beast hurtling down after him. "Jack!" she screeched. "Mother!" called Jack. "Quick, pass my axe!" Jack's mother raced to find the axe and passed it to her son. Without a moment to spare, Jack wielded the axe above his head, and he struck the beanstalk over and over again. Chop, 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 crack! The beanstalk began to splinter and split, and before too long, the beanstalk was broken and the giant couldn't come down. For many years after that, Jack and his mother lived quietly in the cottage with the magical hen and harp. Jack never grew any beans ever again, and he and his mother lived happily ever after. The end.